Here.
Oh, there we go. I see it. All right.
Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to SKST Radio, Real Talk with Cami Grayson and friends. And you're tuned in to
Cocktails.
In conversation.
That's
right
right.
here on SKST Radio. Hey guys, welcome.
Hey.
Happy Thursday
Salute to everyone.
Salute.
And all of our viewers.
Salute.
I'm having reunity.
Yes, and I'm having Sky Vodka.
I'm having a little orange juice today. With a little extra something in there.
A little something.
A little something in it. Well, you
Take
guys,
out the edge.
right? Okay, so we just regular conversation, enjoying what is it, cocktails and conversation. And today we thought we would talk on sort of a touchy subject with all that's going on in our Asian community. And so we're just going to give our own opinions of what we think that's really going on. The headlines say different things like hate crimes and just people targeting because the reason why they're saying it's hate crimes is because the former president said to America, and he referred every single time to America, that the COVID virus was the China virus. And we already saw what happened at the Capitol. So people take those little nuggets and they make it their own. They just spin off, snowball effect type thing. And so do y'all, that's the question, I guess. Do y'all think that is the reason why we got a lot of shootings all of a sudden? I can tell you that they had a shooting in Compton 4 days ago. And then they also, you heard about the spa shooting in Atlanta. So what do you guys think about that?
I mean, people just fed up, correct? People just fed up. It's just so much social unrest right now, in general, across the board. Yeah, all races basically. But I mean, people they're acting out. They're acting out, and sometimes it gets a little bit more negative than before. But more so, certain Americans, a certain climate of people, they feel that now all of a sudden they want to say more things, which is causing people to react in a more adverse way. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like there's kind of two sides to this thing. We're in a climate where, we're not in we're not dealing with the norm. We're dealing with COVID and all that. And of course, we touched on this in, our last conversation a little bit about, people starting to act out and do things that they would normally do. As a matter of fact, I did say, that you're going to start seeing more mass shootings and murder suicides because, that is the energy that I'm getting. But I also believe with that, the COVID situation, there are already political issues, that are underlining as well, and racial issues that are underlining as well. So you throw all that in a mixing pot, and it's a recipe for disaster. I feel like with the former president speaking about Asians and making reckless comments, that did kind of fuel things. But also then you have to look at where are these shootings taking place? Because there's the other side to that coin, to where, some of these places that they're shooting at also have been the butt of complaints too, from the other side, how they've treated others, other group, like, Blacks and stuff. Coming from California, what I've experienced, going into some shops, that's not minority and being mistreated. I feel like that anger from certain groups of people is already raging, so that on top of all of this, like, again, it's a recipe for disaster. And what I feel for the shooting that took place in Atlanta, there's more to be uncovered with that the media is not saying. I'm just gonna say this, what I feel and the energy that I'm getting, it's not necessarily just racially motivated. There's some underlining issues behind that shooting too, that they're not speaking about.
Right. Well, I mean, the guy actually said that it wasn't racially motivated. He did admit that it was sexually motivated.
Okay.
And so with that being said, who do you believe? And I'm a firm believer in the former president's word, fake news. I'm a firm believer of that. That's my I feel.
So you're saying they're trying to cover up something. They're basically
Exactly.
trying to cover up the sex. What I don't want to make a statement and it's not out there yet, but yeah, they're definitely trying to cover it up.
And that is the energy that I'm drawing off of that situation long before I didn't even realize they had said it in the news. So
yeah. And then this is a crazy thing too, listening to the news in the mornings, there is things being said to the fact, and I'm not in politics at all, and this is I'm just not a politician person, but they did say, mention that China wants us to stay out their business. It's like we're in their Kool-Aid and they want us to get the F out of their Kool-Aid. So that's something that's going on too. And so it's more, like you said, Aisha, way more than what's being said.
I can see that happening because you brought up a point. Our former president, we don't want to mention his name at all, but the statements that he made about the Chinese flu, like what in the world? What in the world? So that actually brought on a lot of negative speak
Energy
about that particular, right, exactly.
Absolutely.
About that particular race of people, Asians. And it's just ridiculous. It makes no sense at all. But yeah, it's a lot surrounding all of that.
Yeah. And then going back to our brothers and sisters, our Asian brothers and sisters, can you imagine? It's the same thing that we're going through. They're going through it, so we're and I hate to say, we're so selfish, and I feel like, just my opinion, please, it's just my opinion. I feel like that yes, it's our turn to get up and be noticed and know that our lives matter. But at the end of the day, all lives matter. And I need us not to just focus on the African Americans, because we're not the only ones suffering. Our Asian family, sisters and brothers, and our Hispanic sisters and brothers, we're all suffering. It's not just consolidated to one race. Ours is worse, though. We're the worst ones of it. I'm not saying that by all means. We've been through it all, but you look at the Holocaust and you look at all these different things that people have been through. It's not just us. We're finally being heard and in the positive light, but we still have to realize it's not just us. All lives matter. And right now my heart is going out to the protesters and things that's going on, because they feel like they've been targeted, and the reason why is because our former president labeled that. And so now the reactions is happening. Going back to the incident at the in Atlanta. Now, do I feel like that's a part of all this stuff? No, I don't, because of what was said in the news. I feel like that had something to do with I don't know if I should say it, but the trafficking, a sexually type thing, what they call them at the end, the pleasures, oh God, what did they say when you get in a massage and you get those last
happy ending.
The happy endings. That's
the happy ending.
So I think
happy endings.
The happy endings. So I think with with that particular situation, being all those were spas, so massage parlors or whatever, I feel like that had something to do with the happy endings, or people working in those places that was not supposed to be working in those places, that were shipped to those places. I mean, it has something to do with something like that, I feel. And so, but I could be wrong. It's just my opinion, but I feel like it was way more than a racial targeting.
So we're just gonna put it out there. Anything that we say here is just alleged.
Yeah, of
Alleged.
course, most
Right,
definitely.
absolutely.
Only our opinions. That's it. Only our opinions.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely.
Mhm.
And so I don't know. I mean, it's sad though, that all those people had to die. You know, our hearts go out to them, and you know, it's still going on. So what are we going to do about it? What can we do about it? What can we do to help? I posted some stuff on my social media to help make awareness that these people are suffering just like we were suffering. So I'm going to continue to do that. In fact, one of my sheroes will be an Asian American woman, because we've had a lot of positive role models from Asian, that we need to recognize. So it's kind of what it is. Aisha, you like you got something on your mind.
It's brewing.
Yes. What do you got?
I just it's just in my mind, I think people are at a point of desperation and they're just not knowing what to do. I think with all of these shootings, with all of this events happening where people are just losing it and taking it out on other people, I think it's a cause for even just not just necessarily anything race-based. I think it's a cause for a change in how we approach mental health. I think it's so much beyond just a political thing. It's so much beyond the race. I think where we need to focus our energy is really on mental health, because things are only going to get worse as long as we stay in these climates. And collectively, all things are energy. And when you have individuals, and it's a mass individuals that are feeling collectively the same way, energy is transferable. So guess what happens? Then you have more people that are feeling that way, and more people that are doing these things, and more events that are happening. So with that, I kind of feel like there needs to be a huge emphasis on getting people the help that they need. It costs $100-200 an hour just to go lay down on somebody's bed and for them to listen to you. Why should that be? We have to really ask ourselves these questions. Do we have services that are readily available to be able to accommodate the needs of people who don't have insurance, who don't have a friend to talk to, more resources, stuff like that? And I get, yes, there might be a suicide hotline, but is one call really going to change your life? I mean, it can, maybe. It might stop you from jumping off that bridge. It might, trigger something in your mind to help you. But some people need long-term therapy. They need long-term help. They need medicine, different things, different tools and resources to be able to get the help that they need, so that it doesn't come to this point.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because innocent people are dying, and it's just, it's sad. Yeah.
Truly is.
And that's something we probably, at the end of Dr. D's interview, maybe that's something one of us need to bring up, what her opinion is on that, because she deals with that all the time. That's what she does. That's what her PhD is in.
One of our upcoming guests.
Yes.
Okay.
To our audience.
Saturday. So
awesome.
I think that'd be something good to ask her at the end of her interview. Because I'm sure, because she has a clinic, I'm sure she's seeing the uptick, everything that you just spoke on, Aisha.
You know what? Just something that came to my mind is, just watching people in general. So what I mean by that is, if you walk into a situation where that it's already negative energy, right? Why not again? And I'm that positive guy. So I mean, bring in something positive. Try to change that conductive energy that's already happening just by putting a little bit of positivity out there. Compliments. Bring some cookies. Raise up the endorphins. Yeah, plan a game with coworkers or family members. Like I said, this is a time of COVID, so we're all close knit in these little pods,
Right.
and energy just starts to pop, just starts to and it's like Aisha said, it's a ripple effect. One person saying something negative, the other person reacts to it. Well, if you jump in and counteract, well, okay, well, I like that shirt you have on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just change the
Absolutely.
conversation. Just change this conversation. You've seen me do it, Cammie. You know what I
Oh
mean.
yeah.
Most
Absolutely.
definitely.
So with that being said, on a positive note, well, kind of crazy positive, let's switch the scene to the COVID relief. Now, Aisha, in your state, it's relaxed. So what has changed in Texas?
As far as the COVID relief,
As far as the relaxed restrictions.
from my understanding, we're no longer required to wear a mask in public, but that is in public areas. So I think it's also causing confusion with that, because then you have people that are going into private facilities, like going into someone's place of business, telling them, oh, well, my governor said I don't have to wear a mask, but they're not understanding, yes, you don't have to wear a mask while you're in public. However, when you're in a private establishment, the rules change. So it's causing some conflict with that. I've seen video surface, like for instance, they had this lady who was in a bank and they told her to put her mask on. And she was, saying, hey, well, I don't have to do that because my governor said I don't. And it called the police on her, and she ended up getting taken down because she didn't want to listen. And even when the officer explained it to her, like, this is a private establishment, ma'am, they said their rules say you have to wear your mask. She didn't want to do it and ended up getting arrested for it, so it is causing some confusion and stuff. Again, we talked about this before and I still stand on it. I feel like, yes, the government may say you guys no longer have to wear a mask, but it's for the responsibility of each person.
Right.
It's up to you to determine, of course, you don't want to disrespect anybody's place of business. If they say wear your mask, wear your mask. That's just out of respect. However, if you are in public and there's no rules that say that you have to wear your mask, it's up to your discretion on what you feel is control, or what you feel that you need to control in that situation. So
I don't know. I mean, I saw a video right when the restrictions were lifted in Texas, and oh my gosh, it was a crowded bar. They were serving food. The servers had their mask around their necks.
I saw that.
Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no, I could just see all of them going of COVID. I know all those people hadn't been vaccinated. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of like, how selfish are you to even, well, me personally, I know on the interview Saturday when Tawana said I missed the event, I actually went to the video. I don't know if y'all remember, I got dressed up and I went to the event. Then I realized it was at a home. And I didn't know it was outdoors. But when I drove up, it was like nowhere to park. I would have had to park down the block. And I was like, I don't know if I feel safe going in.
Right.
So that's the reason why I didn't go in. I mean, I came back and took pictures of myself looking cute in my little dress, but it was a beautiful event and it was outside. Just so happened the home was on the water, the backyard was
right,
the ocean or whatever, a lake or whatever. And so, but I didn't know that. And so at the time going, to the event, I didn't feel comfortable. I just didn't.
all the conversation we just had is about personal choices and
Mhm.
putting the right information out there and making sure that the public gets that information. You know, and cities are just, they're just making these blanket statements and assuming everyone's going to read the headlines. First of all, not everyone reads. They need to hear it, and they need to put it on certain social platforms that just be creative about it. The government just doesn't do that at all. But the right people are just not talking about it. You still have to wear your mask in public places, and that's it. Having to correct the signage is there. You know, I'm always looking for signage because it tells me what I need to do because I don't want to have an issue. So I
Right.
mean, people are just not paying attention. They're just excited. They want normalcy. That's what it is. They just want normalcy, and unfortunately, we're just not there yet. We're just not there yet. I know these businesses have to make money, and that's one of the reasons why they're opening things up because people are losing money. You know, so I get it, but just protect yourselves.
Right.
Protect yourself.
Absolutely.
By
Mhm.
protecting yourself, again, we're protecting others.
Right. Right.
Have you heard? Have you guys heard about these vaccination parties that people are having? You know, so there are groups of people who all have been vaccinated. They've had both shots or the one shot, depending on which direction you go in, and they just come together collectively just to celebrate life in general. You know, what do you guys think about that? Because not everyone's gonna do it, but both of you are kind of. Aisha's like, I have a, you know, I don't know what it is about me calling you Aisha or Ish. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Guys, that's an ongoing thing between us. But it is Aisha.
Aisha,
Yes.
that's right. That's right.
That's right. Well,
So what do you think about the parties? What do you think?
Me personally, I guess I'm just still chicken. I mean, I'm chicken shit. I
You
just
still
can't.
some people. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
you say even after you have both shots, you still will
Yeah.
not,
Because it's
even if
not
it's,
guaranteed that everybody else
it
has
is
the shot.
not. It is not. No,
People
no.
can
What I'm saying
say,
is, so that's not what I'm saying. This a group of people that you know. All of you have had the shot. You know, you have your little piece of paper and all. But what they still don't realize is you're not 100% protected. Now, I've been vaccinated. I've had my first shot. I know that, you know, I don't want to put anyone's business out there, but me myself, I've had the first shot. I'm waiting for my second shot. So I know that that's not bulletproof. You know, it doesn't mean that I'm, you know, it,
a better outcome possibly, but
you know, it's not 100%. It's just going to
gotcha.
lessen the effects that I might have. And I might have some that may feel like sniffles rather than full blown, you know, issues that most people will have with COVID. And that also has to do with my immune system also. You know, I'm pretty healthy guy. So, you know, perhaps I won't be as sick as the next person if I
Right.
do
Right.
contract, you know, anything that has to do with that. So, I mean,
I don't know.
touchy subject,
Yeah, it
touchy
is.
subject.
It really is. I don't think I would be going anywhere without my little shield. You know,
Hmm.
I'm just gonna have to wear my shield until I feel comfortable. The only place I do feel comfortable in the office. I do
Hmm.
feel comfortable in the office. And one of the employees I do kind of stay away from because they have a lot of people in their family, you know, that they deal with. So I don't get close to that one person. Other than that, I mean, we still talking, you know, I'm still 6 feet apart, you know, things like that. But uh, I mean, even yeah, you know, every now and then I might get a little closer than 6 feet, but I still try to keep my distance with all the employees, and I still
It's
try to
easy
wear
to
my
forget.
mask outside the office and
It's
anybody
easy to
coming into
forget.
the office.
I joke and say I'm a free breather. You know, I find myself kind of pulling my mask down a bit because it's uncomfortable. But again, even though I'm a free breather, I have to realize that sometimes that is I ask for permission.
Yeah.
You know, asking for permission to bring your mask down, that's actually politically correct. If everyone has to feel comfortable, and then who am I? I'm gonna even say this, who am I to just pull it down?
Right.
That's too much. That's too much. Just the climate is just so different now.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
The
I mean,
protocol
it's
is
funny.
so different.
And like you said, Foster, it is your discretion.
Mhm.
It's kind of like, do you feel comfortable with this person? Or do you not feel
Right.
comfortable? You know what I mean? It's your discretion. I noticed last night with our taping, we all were masked up. We all came in masked up, but then after the energy started flowing,
Mhm.
everybody got comfortable and getting ready into the set, getting ready for the taping. We all sort of took our shields down. We all sort of got comfortable with one another. And so and I know for a fact that you and I have been vaccinated, but I don't know about everybody else. In fact, I know one of our team members hadn't been vaccinated. And so it's just your comfort level. Like you said, it's just your comfort level. And immediately I go home and I'm taking my temperature and making sure I'm okay, getting me some lemon juice and
Again, my
everything that I
ritual,
feel like I'm gonna help myself
yeah,
stay
my
healthy.
ritual is I come in the house, clothes come off, they go in the wash. If they don't go in the wash, they go directly into a bag. That's just me, but that's me. But I was sort of that way in the first place. But because I know I'm bringing germs from outside on the inside. It's just me here, so I mean I can control my environment. But when I'm out there in the world, I can't really control my environment. I don't know. I want to bring up something.
Okay.
People in these masks. I'm sorry, like these masks are looking a little dingy. And I have sensitive skin, so I mean, I have to even the little what is it, the medical mask. I can't wear the same. I can't. Every time I take it off, I have to put on another. That's just me, though. I know it, but it's there. It's looking a little vicarious here. I can't. I can't. No, they're looking a little all around the ear and all. I get makeup. That women in makeup, that's different. That's different. But some of these masks, like I take a look at like I'm the guy that looks at nails and all that. No, no, no.
Yeah.
Not everyone can touch me. Ooh, it's too much.
It's interesting that you say that, because I was going to bring that up when you mentioned about how I feel about going to like parties and with this stuff. I'm just in my mind, COVID is probably, yeah, that's a concern for me, but I'm like, we got flu, we got all kind of other germs, the common cold, and everything else in between. I don't like being around a bunch of people in close quarters like that anyway.
Yeah.
Just take COVID outside of the equation. We still got the flu. We still got everything else, that you can get sick from.
We lost your visual.
You
Yeah,
lost your beautiful face. There we go.
I got a call to come through. Sorry about that. But take that out of the equation, and I don't feel comfortable with any of that anyway. And that's before COVID even happened. And yeah, I agree. Some of these masks and stuff, I'm just like, so you're concerned about COVID, but you're not concerned about catching something else
Right.
with that digital mask.
And bacteria, microorganisms.
I guess they
you.
try to build their immunity by introducing some of the bacteria. So,
but no, maybe because the mask is not filtered, they feel like all the will filter it through. I'm just trying to help.
I don't know. I throw mine
Science
in there with the laundry, so I don't know.
Yes, science
Absolutely.
projects. That's what they are.
I even wipe down my plastic with hand sanitizer.
Exactly.
I do. I just, it's. I just got to. Yeah, it's nasty. You're right, Foster. Absolutely right. 100%. And so, and we offer masks. We give them away. Anybody come through the door, we giving them away. You need a mask. Here, we happy to give you a mask. Because we're not trying to catch it. And I trip Grace out because I go into the conference room with my spray. I go through the office and the whole office smelling like spray. But at the end of the day,
what used to be so rude, like you spray right behind someone or you Febreze and do all these things, and people think that, oh, you're trying to be funny. No, I'm not trying to be
It's
funny.
real.
I'm trying to protect you and me,
It's
and
real.
it's gonna happen. It's gonna
real.
happen. I'm gonna spray it down. I'm gonna use Lysol, whatever I have readily available. I use hand sanitizer. If I don't have alcohol, I use hand sanitizer, wipe things down. I cannot do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah. And the crazy
Yeah.
thing is we should have been doing this all along.
Exactly.
We should have been doing this all along. And you
Mhm.
think about it, they're saying wash your hands. You dirty people, why don't you wash your hands? Why do they have to tell us to wash our hands? Because we were not in the habit of washing our hands all the time. Seriously, we just wasn't. I mean, these are probably the dirtiest things that you have, besides this and money. This and money are probably the dirtiest things you'll ever come across. What?
Let's talk about money.
Okay.
Do I carry money, Cami?
No.
One of the reasons why I don't carry money, and I carry my own personal credit card, and I even wipe that down. Like I wipe that off because it's going in and out.
Yeah.
I'm a sort of a germaphobe, but it's sort of a secret of mine. But I cannot change, dollar bills. That goes through so many different hands. You don't know where it's been. The cleanest person has the dirtiest thing in their presence, and they don't even think about it because it spins the same.
Gotcha.
That last person, it could have gone to, and I'm not saying some homeless people are somebody cleaner than most people. Some of them are. So I'm not saying that, but it could have just been donated to a homeless person, and that homeless person gives it to someone else. It's going in that register. I mean, it's no way to actually readily clean money as they get it in. It's no way to do that.
Right.
That would be one of the reasons why I don't keep cash.
I can't do it. Aisha, I cannot do it.
I don't keep cash for that reason. And you know what? They made these little chips that go on the cards now too. And I just want everybody to know that's in the service industry, please don't reach for my card if it has that little thing on there. I'm gonna swipe it and just hit it one time. Do not reach for my card because then I'm about to wipe it down. But yeah, no, I agree with that. Money is probably the dirtiest thing, but I've left the ladies' room and observed, and in many places, and observed people not even washing their hands, or they will wash their hands and then turn around and touch the door, and open it up. So in my mind, it's like, if you're so hell-bent on wearing this mask, but you're not doing the basic things to protect yourself against everything else, then I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is a lot of it's education. I learned how to wash my hands because I work for Parkland Hospital. And we had to, that's just it. You work in the medical field, this is it. I was a certified doctor's assistant. So I learned that way. Even at work, you see a lot of paper towels because I'm washing my hands. Then I'm actually taking the paper towel and I'm opening the door, holding the door and dumping the paper at the door. So basically that's, I was taught that way. But people who didn't go, people who are not in the medical field, they don't even know that. And it might be a total different way now because it's been a while since I've been in the medical field. But to me, that's the safest way. When I tried my best not to go to a public restroom, but if I have to, that's the process, and the water is still running. Keep in mind, after I'm washing my hands, the water is still running until I got that paper towel. I've dried my hands. Then I got another paper towel, and then I'm turning off the water. Then I'm opening the door, propping myself, and throwing the paper towel in the trash.
Yep.
And
that's my same procedure.
Right. And I same here. But let's just be real. There's no way to really get away from germs. We can try our best, even going into the grocery store. So many people touch the items that you've already touched. It goes through so many hands.
Just to get
You
to
just
the
have,
grocery store.
exactly. It's just all about cleaning yourself, sanitizing your hands as you go along. They have little wipes. They have little, just everything you need basically these days.
Right.
But I mean, so guys, just, if I implore you to please just protect yourselves, use hand sanitizer, use I'm saying Febreze, Lysol. Use
Lysol.
Lysol. It works.
Yeah.
It works.
But let me
So,
ask y'all this while we're on that subject. So I have gotten to the point where I don't go grocery shopping anymore.
oh, the services, yes.
I use Amazon
Yes.
to grocery shop, and they will leave my packages right outside my door. And what I do is I grab my packages, I take them to the kitchen, and I lay them on the floor. And then one by one, I'm taking the items out and I'm wiping them down and I'm storing them.
Mhm.
And that's, to me, just, I'm by myself. So to me, that way I can go into my cabinets, into my, refrigerator or whatever, and I feel like I've cleaned them. You know what I mean? Even, just even my bananas, I just kind of wipe them down a little bit. And not necessarily that I use chemical based things. I use my dish towel a lot too for different things, like the boxes and things like that. You just a little wipe down, just to make me feel safe. It might not be no safer than anything else, but to me, I didn't go to the grocery store. I didn't have to touch a buggy. I didn't have to look at anybody. I didn't have to look at somebody coughing or digging in their nose. I didn't have to see nothing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to see any of that. All I know is somebody was nice enough to package everything that I asked for and leave it outside my door and say, knock, knock, and they're gone. So y'all think that's a homophobic, what do you call it? Not homophobic, what do you call it? What do you call it?
Agoraphobic.
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 Agoraphobic. Do y'all think that I'm to the extreme at this point?
No,
Maybe.
everyone needs to be. Everyone has a little bit of it, and they truly do. Agoraphobia. Look
For
it up.
me, I took some protective measures. I have done that, but I'm focused more on the preventative measures than anything. And that is making sure I got my fruits and vegetables, making sure I'm detoxing, and making sure I get my vitamin source. I feel like that is the best way to combat anything, not just COVID, but anything, any kind of thing that can harm your body. Prayer. I stay prayed up and I look to no, I'm serious. I'm dead serious, because at the end of the day, God gonna have the final say in what's going on. So
Right.
I'm going to the source. I'm not playing with y'all down here.
Well, remember
I'm
my
going to the
video.
source.
I just
I'm talking
started
to
that
my
video.
God. And I feel like, no, for real, I feel like my faith and everything has me accustomed and has me protected in a way that nothing else can protect me.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, what's to say I go through all these protective measures and I step outside my door and my neighbor walk by and cough right in my eye. You see what I'm saying? You can't.
Why did you just? I'm gonna let you finish.
You can't safeguard yourself from every little scenario because you don't know what's going to happen. This is why you take preventative measures. So for me, I go to the source and I take the necessary steps to make sure I have my vitamins and everything in place so that my immune system will be able to fight in case I do. That is how I approach it.
That's good. That's real good.
So those little tickles that people have in the back of their throat, and obviously you have to clear your throat and you cough, and everyone looks at you like, oh,
yeah.
Everyone's seen the little funny commercials and all. Well, they shoot someone down because they coughed and all. I mean, that's just so weird to me right now. It really is. Like I feel like I can't cough in public.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think we all feel
You've
it
been
that
out
way.
sneeze, right?
Yeah. And then I have allergies anyway. So if I eat something too hot or something, Foster done seen it. I choke. Oh, actually, you seen it too. I'm choking like crazy, and I'm okay after a little something to wash it down. But at the end of the day, I still feel guilty because I had to cough or I'm choking or you know what I mean. So to me, it's easier just not to go out because I guarantee you that little tickle in my throat is going to happen. That's pretty bad. and people looking at you.
I will say I'm guilty of that. When COVID first hit, I was
See, people like you, Aisha.
you know what though? It wasn't the fact, it wasn't the fact of COVID. It was just, to me, it was very rude. So I'm walking down the aisle in Walmart, and before I even get to where this source of this noise is coming from, I looked and all I'm hearing is, and so I immediately like, where is that coming from? And so I walked dead into the person, and he, you ain't did none of this. You ain't did none of this. You ain't did none of this. Nothing. Regardless if there's COVID, it's just, to me, I think, covering yourself so that you're not spreading bacteria, period.
Yes.
That's just,
Yes.
So I was wondering, so when that happened, I'm already in my mind, I'm like, first of all, that's just crazy and rude. Even if there was no COVID situation whatsoever, you could have been passing the flu or your germs or whatever. And I don't want that in my mouth. I don't want any of that.
Right.
So I immediately read.
Lord have mercy. I see her hightailing out of there. Man.
Oh man, yeah, I would have ran too.
Craziness, man. So I wish our Edward would have showed up, because he works with in the public, and he has a lightsaber martial arts class, and so I really wanted to get his input on the Asian thing, and also the precautions that they're taking in their school for COVID, and how they're going to work with the change, the governor's order to change and have more students in and things like that. Are they going to continue to do the practicing the safetiness of the classroom? So I was really interested in hearing about that, and how these businesses are going to come back with, are they going to continue the routine, or are they going to just stop? Are we going to be?
I think aren't they leaving it up to the businesses? They're leaving it up to the businesses.
Yeah. But don't you want to know if they're cleaning up behind other people? If they're sanitizing behind other people? I would like to know, because if they don't, I don't want to be there.
Right.
So,
and unfortunately, if it's not a mandate, some businesses are not. So again, we have to just watch and look around, and I always speak about the fact that I get these little breezes, these little notions that happen. If the wind pushes me, if I'm about to walk in a place, the wind pushes me, I'm going over here, or something gets my attention, I'm listening. I'm not going towards anything. I heard you say you heard a cough. When I heard a cough, I don't look for it.
Yeah, so she look for it. I'll be going the opposite way. I don't even want to be around you.
I wasn't looking for it. I was looking to see which direction it was coming so I could avoid it.
Exactly.
Little do I know, I walked into it. I'm like, I don't know.
That's funny. That's funny. Absolutely. Well, guys, our hour is pretty much up. Do anybody have anything else they want to say before we toast out the night?
What, Aisha, what do you have for the world? Do you have anything for the world just for?
Oh yeah,
I do. I pulled a card. See, we always stay on point.
Yes.
I pulled a card before we got started. I know you guys can't see, it's probably backwards. It says lie back, rest, and relax. Mm-hmm. So that's the spirit and confirmation that, you know what, we got to take one day at a time, and not be so hung up on everything that we forget to take time out for ourselves and breathe and relax and take everything in and have gratitude and appreciation while we are here on this earth. You know, tomorrow's not promised, and we know that. So, you know, appreciate the small things and take it one day at a time. You know, people are taking on everything like it's just the end of the world, but it's not. Just relax and breathe.
Right. You know, it's so funny. I don't know if y'all can see this, but I'm getting texts from people work related. Mm-hmm. And I think I text you, Foster. So this is a person that's having a baby shower Saturday. And so I still got to get their paperwork done and told them I would get it done for them, try my best to get it done tomorrow for them, you know. I've been working nonstop. And today I accidentally left my phone at home and I had 18 missed phone calls. 18. And it's just go ahead.
I'm sorry, I bogart a little bit. I'm sorry, everyone.
No, you're fine.
You were supposed to not have that phone. I was so happy you didn't go get that phone today. That was Aisha said spirit. Spirit was telling you that you needed to relax and leave some of those things alone. It was something that you weren't supposed to see. You needed a more relaxing day. You had a lot going on today. I do want to say that. And you handled yourself very well because you didn't have that phone that you had to continuously look at all of. She has two phones. I have two phones. You know, not a lot of people know what we actually do, but you know, she's a very busy woman and she needed that time. Just spirit, Jesus, God, the universe wanted you to have that time to yourself to just breathe. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
if
you
I
were
tell
able
y'all I needed this today,
Y'all,
salute.
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 This is actually good. It's a big bottle, so I'll be probably using this till next week. So, okay, guys, our time is up. Thank you for tuning in to Real Talk. And since we have a new name for this show, Aisha Foster, take it away. Join us next week for
Cocktails.
And conversation.
Love It.
All
Y'all
right.
have a good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.